So I'd like to bring up to the stage right now Darius the poet. He is what he's got so many things here that I have to say. Uh, I had to write these all down because you want to come up and help me with this? You are an educator and a poet and an artist, and what other good things can we say about you?
Proud.
Well,
This one?
give us this one. Yeah.
Hello, hello. Word, I'm a
Right.
proud wearer of Crocs.
Yes.
Breakfast sandwich enthusiast.
The Crocs one is one that stuck in my head, and then I forgot it as soon as I got up here.
People always forgetting Crocs.
What are you doing, though?
Yeah. Oh, so they don't look good. It's not in aesthetics. I love to wear them, but not to performances.
I for one, I'm very happy to hear this. So please give a round of applause for Darius the poet.
Is this yours? Hey, y'all. Most deaf. That was 5 of y'all. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Happy Juneteenth, specifically to the black folks in the room. Shout out to us. Real quick, before I start, I wonder if the black folks here can take a second. I asked this question on the social medias this morning and thinking about Juneteenth and the ways that there was this quote unquote liberation there, but the ways we're still trying to get free. And I wonder about what moments and what things that y'all do that make you feel free or freer or freest. Yeah. So if you take a second to think of it, and just hold it in your head, your thing. And once you got your thing, if you could hold up a finger. Yeah. Tight. So I want you to try to condense your thing into one word. And once you got your thing into one word, however you're going to summarize it, can you give me another finger in the air? Dope. So black folks, on the count of three, we're going to shout out our one word. And it's only going to work if we all shout. Okay? Okay? I have zero faith based on that first initial response. Okay, so I'm going to count down from 3. When we get to 1, y'all are going to shout out your one word, this thing that makes you feel freer. Yes? Can y'all say yes? Tight. So 3, 2, 1. Most deaf. Thank you. We snap it up for those things and the ways we get free and try to get freer. Indeed. If God isn't a capitalist, why does the pastor tell me that heaven is a mansion? What good is a big house in a place without walls? For my soul's sake, I hope that heaven is an ocean, somewhere we drown in questions, never find the answers, but still somehow get along swimmingly. So my name is Darius Simpson. I moved out here from Akron, Ohio. Yes, shout out to Snaps. I see you, red shirt. I live in Berkeley, California now. I do poems, things with words, workshops, classes, things like that, and performances. I'm really excited to be here on Juneteenth and sharing space with y'all, some amazing artists, but then as well folks that are in the room. How many folks have been to a poetry performance before in here? Dope. So this is not a speech. I'm not presenting a thing for you all to just gawk at. It is actually an interaction. So what are some ways that y'all know how to show love to a poet? They're going through word. I see some snaps. Can we do it? Can we practice a collective snap? Most deaf. What are some other ways? Most deaf. So you can laugh if there's something funny in the poem. Yes, yes. My favorite is actually it's silent. And it's like, you know, when you're floored by some good food, and it's not like, it's a but it's not really a it's like a, that frown with your head shake. So if we do a collective frown and head shake, most deaf, some of y'all afraid to make that frown face. It's okay though, it's okay. Yeah. So I want to practice y'all showing love to a thing. So if there's something that you agree with in a poem, something you're rocking with, I want you to practice showing love to the stage, not just me, for the other folks that are going to be up here. So for example, if I'm in a poem and I say Brussels sprouts are disgusting. Yeah. Most deaf, if you agree with that, you might snap your fingers. If I say it feels good to be black. Indeed, if you agree with that, you might, I heard a yep. Can we go yep? Can we all go yep? Most deaf, tight. So I just wanted to normalize you responding to the things, to the poem. Those are the things I wanted to say about me. I'm gonna do 2 poems, both from a book that I put out last year. My first book of poems is called Conversion Theory. And It imagines what it means to not need to protest and not need to like be in this active resistance of trying to get free. So every poem is a demand in exchange for not having that need. So there's these really imaginative things. Like one of them is that Twinkies rain down over every black neighborhood in the country. Another is just that we're allowed to live, and that's it. So yep, gonna do the poems. Have y'all seen Luke Cage or Black Panther? Can you make some noise if you've seen either one of those? Make some noise. Yep. Tight. So I personally believe that Luke Cage and Black Panther are the heroes we've been waiting for. America's greatest fear, a killer cop's worst nightmare, a black body that cannot be broken. But we've seen this kind of resistance stamped out before. When the Black Panthers fashioned Black Power fists into trigger fingers, the United States government disarmed them, separated the organization at the joint, then buried the skeleton without a headstone. Me personally, I don't want to be invincible nor bulletproof. I feel like this place would get a kick out of finding new ways to kill me. But instead, I would take a time machine so I can pull up on God just before she made light, so I can convince her that without light, darkness is just fine. I mean, can y'all imagine Genesis chapter 1, verse 1? And then there was darkness, period. And it lived as long as it wanted to. And all the skin inhabited by it was blessed by the sun. And the sun promised to never burn it. But even still, now being burned or having a dark anything was a compliment. And all the shadow children looked at each other on the playground and saw God staring back at them. Then after recess, they returned to a dim classroom where the teacher, of course, darker than them, taught them how their skin was a symphony and how self-love is the only song you need to pass life's exam. I want to see a black name on the internet and assume it graduated college before I assume it's been shot. I want to see a black face in a headline and assume it found a cure for cancer before I assume it went missing. I want to know why we allow officers to take lives but don't require they learn how to save them. I don't want to praise every time somebody black gets shot, then accidentally lives. I want an outrage anytime a bullet trespasses black skin. I want jail time for every single case. I want battery to be charged so often the cop has to be 100% before unplugging the gun from the holster. Matter of fact, y'all can keep your indictments. I want the boy back. I want us both to die of natural causes. I want Trayvon to return from the corner store whistling. I want Emmett to return from the corner store whistling. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live in an all-black neighborhood on purpose. I want to like it. I want to look my family in the mirror at 75. I want to pull my grandchildren in from the cabinet corners in my reflection. I want to sit them down like crumbs in front of the stove. I want to sprinkle them with stories of my childhood, then let them marinate in all the lives I've lived until they are seasoned enough to pass on their own list of ingredients. I want black skin to do whatever it pleases without any explanation. I want us to breathe. I said, I want us to breathe without permission. Thank you. That's right. Word. Can you make some noise if you love breakfast food? Breakfast. A strong distinction from breakfast. It's breakfast, more seasoned, more love inside. I'm a breakfast sandwich enthusiast. Completely unrelated to the poem I'm about to do, but I'm curious because it's morning time still. So this last poem is thinking about, y'all seen these viral videos of black boys creating dance crazes and just doing things, yes, on the internet? Yes? No? Yes. Tight. So watching those videos, around a time where these other videos of black bodies being taken by extrajudicial violence was really interesting to think about, like the different ways the black body moves and or is moved and why we choose movement in the way that we do. So being a black boy in this body, I thought about The demand, which is, it's like, I think it's page 79 of this book. And the demand is a clear dance floor for Black boys who can't sit still. Or Rodney King was the first music video to go viral solely for the beat. I learned how to moonwalk next to a vacuum. And I still take steps back when life sucks. In 6th grade, I thought that my body was a temple. So I learned how to pray with my feet. Back when dance was the only religion we knew, I was baptized while sliding backwards at a talent show. And at 12 years old, I thought this was worship. But my mother said it was training. She said, when you Black, rhythm is both how you prepare for battle and recover from the war zone. She told me that if I keep moving, that I might learn how to dodge bullets if I practice hard enough. By the time my father showed me his scars from breakdancing, I had already learned the choreography of a traffic stop. I became a performer whenever the red and blue lights flashed in my rearview mirror. I knew my lines. I knew how to keep my hands visible in case of combustion, how the wrong move might lead to me never dancing again. The day a cop told me I didn't belong in the neighborhood I grew up in, my tongue was a wet fuse. My voice, a pin's grenade. My fists were nuclear missiles. This cop's mouth pressing launch codes. He wanted to see how many words it would take to cause a chain reaction. He wanted me to explode on the side of the road so we could make a street sign out of my shrapnel. He wanted my mother to have to come down to the sidewalk that night to identify what was left of her child. So instead, I smiled. I figured it was best that we both make it home in one piece. But that night, I danced in an empty parking lot for 2 hours just to avoid detonating. And I think all us Black boys fall into bomb making this way, as an attempt to defuse a weapon we wear every day. Black boys dance to show that our bloodstream is jet fuel, to prove that our spines are indeed rocket ships, that at any moment we could blast off and leave this whole planet behind us. Besides, what threat could America make against a body that has already proven it will blow up on command? The next time y'all see a Black boy shake so hard you think his back's broken, consider that we break our own bones just to prove we're still in control of them. Consider those viral videos of Black boys dancing, a reclaiming of land we was told was never ours to begin with. Don't ask, why y'all always dancing? Ask, what kind of country makes its people feel like they're safer when moving? We dance because being Black is stressful. We dance because we got lives to live. We dance because after a long day, sometimes defying gravity is the only rebellious thing our bodies have time to do. We dance because you can't hit what you can't catch. Our dance is alluding to war zone. Our dance is a form of combat. Our dance is an armed resistance ever so often. I have flashbacks to the battles when the bass is loud enough for me to forget I'm not a soldier anymore, or the music is recruitment enough for me not to care. In those moments, I remember the living room that I turned into a training camp, make my limbs into a bomb shelter, and let the beat blow me away. Thank you. That was the end of the poems. Again, my name is Darius Simpson. I do have a few copies of the book with me. Holla at me. Yes, thank y'all so much. You can clap it up for yourselves for enjoying the poems. Yeah. Thank you all.